along, subscribers, to another edition of Heads Up. Neil Davis and the Money Shot to go through all the good action this weekend, highlighted, of course, by the big meeting at Ellerslie. But before we do that, Neil, and welcome to the show, we should touch on last week, an outstanding day of racing on the Champagne Turf at Trentham.
Certainly was. Good weather and good racing, a fair track, decent crowd, and good horses winning. And that Telegraph, it just goes to show what barrier draws mean. For a horse like Enzo's Lad to win that race when everything else was, I think we mentioned about 10 horses in that race, and he was never mentioned once. And to get that one draw, that was a difference, wasn't it?
Certainly was, and tracked the leader Ferrando. The split came at the right time.
Yeah.
Had to be strong I thought even at the 100, Coe might still pick it up, but it was strong to the line, and well done to the Pittman boys and to Sam Weatherly getting his first Group 1. But Coe was huge in defeat, you'd have to say. Just took a bit longer to clear the pocket than they would have liked, but it was definitely the run of the race, you'd have to say.
Yeah, we just did the breakdown of the sectionals there, and they ran 35 flat, just about, for the first 600 metres, and came home in 33.3 off the front. So for Coe to come from virtually, he was last at one stage, or equal last, and 32.33 I think it was an enormous effort. And if they'd just gone a bit harder, he would have won. Surely he would have won. Would have been a great performance. But it was great racing. And Dijon Bleu, I know you mentioned on the preview last week, the bookies had the odds ran the wrong way, and it was proved right. Dijon Bleu, once she got clear, it was all over, wasn't it? Just bang.
Yeah, it held up for one run and got the split, and just went bang. A tough decision for the owners of Dijon Bleu this week, whether they would carry on to the $1 million 3-year-old race at Ellerslie. I see they've decided against that, so we'll see here next in the Sir Tristram Fillies at Te Rapa, but must have been hard to turn down a $1 million race, but they're focused on the Filly of the Year series now, so she should be winning that series, you would think. And very impressive performance. And Stolen Dance, a horse that 2 years ago looked like it would win multiple Group 1s. I think it ran a couple of second in the Zabeel, second in the Thorndon behind Coe, and then went right off the boil. But good to see her back in the winner's circle as what turned out to be her final run.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That Andrew Forsman, he was always held the faith in her, and mentioned before, Enzo's Lad got the perfect run. Well, she had the worst run on the race, didn't she? Back and 3 wide.
It was a bad winning ride, and even Sam Spratt would admit that. But sometimes horses that like clear air, you have to ride them bad in order to win.
Exactly, and she was just too tough. Bang on the day. Good trainers, very good trainers, obviously, and it was good to see. Even though I didn't back, I was really pleased to see her hang on. I thought High Fly had his chance, and as Parksy said, I think he needs the blinkers. If he had the blinkers on, he would have been a better chance probably. But hindsight's a great thing in racing, isn't it?
You'd think Love Affair, missing that run at Ellerslie, was always a bit susceptible, having that bigger gap between races. She disappointed, but she's a better horse than that, as we know. But I tell you, one horse you would have backed on Saturday would have been the winner of the Wellington Cup, Magic Chai.
Yes, and I've had a good bet on him actually in the end. So, and a multi into that favourite horse of yours and mine, Eagle Bay, but Magic Chai, he shouldn't have won. They came home in 35.7, and over 2 miles, even though the first half was running about 9 seconds slower than the second half, he shouldn't have won that race, but he was just too big, too strong. So well done, Tony Pike. Good training. But Eagle Bay, were you pleased to see him win?
Very pleased to see him win. He's a horse on the up. Probably didn't win as impressively as you would have liked, but they pay the same whether they win by a nose or 10 lengths. So
exactly.
He's a horse to definitely watch going forward.
Yeah.
Big, powerful thoroughbred. So I think he completed the day for a lot of people's multis, including yours, obviously, and that's always nice to see the bookies get a bit of their own back and have to suck it up as the punters get one over them every now and then.
Too right. They would have been pleased to see Rondanella go a strange race, and after the race apparently heart fibrillation, so they're still pushing on to the Oaks, which is good to hear. So I think they're going to the Sir Tristram, aren't they, next?
Yeah, I'd say she'll carry on that path. I thought the third horse, just touching on her in the Desert Gold, Milcian, looked to it from an Oaks point of view. Just found the line late again, that last 50, remembering it was only her second run.
Yeah.
And so I think there's improvement in her, so look out for her going forward. The Chocolate Fish finished one apiece. Volpe, Veloce beat Start Wondering. It was a bit disappointing, but Shadow's Cast managed to sneak past Splurge up the straight.
Yeah, Gutless Wonder Splurge. I thought he had you. I was looking forward to that chocolate too.
Yeah, well, we'll go again on something this week.
Yeah, and good fields on Saturday. Nothing else from last week? We won't mention any cricket game from last week?
Well, yeah, cricket was absolute disgraceful. Central District Stags. I went over to the game, I did enjoy the game, even though it was completely one-sided and CD got pantsed, but it's a good facility they've got there at Seddon Park with the kids area and the grass area and whatnot, so it was a good old afternoon. It didn't really take too long. I think Northern Districts won with about 13 overs to spare or something like that, but yeah, we'll better go out for a spell in terms of sports tips, Neil, and just regather our thoughts again, visit that psychiatrist that you put us in touch with a couple of weeks ago and see what we can come back with.
Yeah, no, she's very nice and worth taking a break for, so you'll be having a break in a couple of weeks too, so we'll need a break around now and then, even just a few days or a couple of weeks, so no, it's good. Okay, we're back with a preview of some really good racing at Ellerslie on Saturday. Moving on to part 2, and listeners, we have some terrific racing on Saturday, starting at 4:40 in the afternoon. Trentham's fairly average sort of fields, but I'll be previewing that for subscribers. But 4:41 we have the first race at Ellerslie, but later on at 6:36 the Money Shot will be on course for the first of the $1 million races. The Money Shot, I know you've done your homework. What do you see winning this race? It's a pretty open sort of race, isn't it?
Very open races. Embellished 330, too short for mine, drawn wide. I probably have to, doesn't have explosive gate speed, so would have to work a bit to get to into a nice one-off spot. So question marks for mine. Bit average last start. I know wasn't screwed down completely. This race for mine's got the makings of a upset, and I don't know who it will be, but if I had to pick one, I'll go with number 14, Kapoor. Very consistent filly. Ran second behind Dijon Bleu in the Soliloquy. Second at Taronga behind your favourite horse, Demonetisation. And second behind Contessa Vanessa, one of its race rivals tomorrow. So you just think she's going to be competitive, not the best draw, but I think Kapoor in a very even lineup, but if you're taking multiples, you'd need a bit of a spread, I think, in this race. Question marks over Savvy Cope, first time right-handed.
Yeah.
I think you like Contessa Vanessa, don't you?
Yeah, I do like her. She went over a mile there, and she did it well too. She was going to be an unlucky third or fourth, but she showed that acceleration through that gap, and I think that experience there is definitely going to help her. She goes best that way round, drawn perfectly. No, you wouldn't go crazy on her, but I think she's probably the best each way bet in the race for my money. But I do like Kapoor's a chance. She maps to get a nice run, about third or fourth Kapoor. Eva Lawler, I think, will go forward and just keep going. They won't hold him back the way he raced last start. But yeah, Embellish. Yeah, that wide draw's a concern, because there's 4-5 runners will kick up inside him. Blinkers go on, and so does Opie again. So yeah, tricky race, but yeah, Contessa Vanessa each way for me, and yep, a bit of Chocolate Fish on Vanessa versus Kapoor.
Go on then. I'm feeling generous. I'll take the $16 shot against the $7.50 shot.
Good. I'll be getting over for personal delivery of that Chocolate Fish too. I'm looking forward to that. I hope it's sugar-free though.
It'll be melting in this weather. If it was in the post.
That's been bloody warm, isn't it? Yeah, it's dead right. Okay, on to the big one of the night, the 2-year-old race, and tough race. What do you see happening?
Again, not sold on this favourite, Avantage, $3.60, unbeaten, I know, but yeah, does a few things wrong, could miss the jump, still a bit green, does have a motor though, but I know She's a Thief had a chance last time, but prepared to go again on her. $3.80. If you remember, She Will Rain going into this last year's Golden Slipper looked unbeatable, got beat at its last start prior to the race, but then came out and blew them away in the Slipper. So I'm going to work on that basis that sometimes you need to have a defeat, and she's a thief for mine, but again an open race.
Yeah.
And you'd want a good spread if you're still alive in the pick six going into the last. I think you've found one from very much right field. Hattie B, number 11.
Yeah, but I was looking for something that would come off the pace, and because there's 1, 2, 3, looking at speed back now, there's 6 runners that will go forward and gallop the clappers to get a good position early on. And being 2-year-olds, I just can't see any of these hanging on and winning. She's a Thief's probably the best chance, so I agree with you there. She will improve off that last run, and she's a lovely looking galloper. She's been set for this race, obviously. But I think Hattie B, her closing sectional at Trentham, I did the 200 metres of some runners there, and she ran the second fastest last 200 metres all day there. And she was unlucky, and I rang Emily Brown, and she showed a lot of confidence in the filly. She has come on since then, and she's out of it as a be or mare. So I think a fast run, 200 metres, is going to suit a horse like her, settling about 6th or 7th, and coming through in the last 100 metres. As you know, this race is all hustle and bustle, and you do need luck. So Hattie B with Sam Spratt on, she just seemed to find those gaps in the big races. So, and I do like Avantage. It's a big improver from the last time there. She was green, but I think $3 something, she's too short for me to back in that race. But so I just sort of left Hattie B is the one for me to back. So I've backed her already at 31 and 7s. Don't know if she'll go in or out, so we'll see. But yeah, she's a thief. Good race, but yeah, it's going to be a good race to finish on, isn't it?
It's not often the race at the I don't know the last favourite. Can you tell me the last favourite to have won this race?
Jeez,
I'm just thinking you go back Melody Bell, Zhong Feng, Hardline. What was before Hardline?
Hardline was sort of second favourite, wasn't it? Favourite though. Paid 5.
Who was that?
That Hardline paid about 5 or 6. The Aussie horse, wasn't it?
780 he paid.
Right.
Vespa might have started favourite. Yeah, Vespa might have been the last favourite to win. But yeah, it's certainly not a race where favourites dominate. So yeah, we had Fort Lincoln was an upsetter. Vincent Mangano won the first edition, was an upsetter.
Yep.
So yeah, it can throw up the odd rough result, that's for sure. So
yep.
I wouldn't be laughing at your Hattie B. And a great story if it did win. 65. I think there's 66 members of the Hattie B syndicate. 65 females and 1 bloke.
A lucky guy, or unlucky guy.
He could be a very lucky guy if it wins.
A great party if they won. Apparently a subscriber emailed me and said that she was on the news last night, so I must have a look at that.
Yeah, there was a little blip on Hattie B.
Oh yeah. TV1.
So,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
I do know one of the females in that syndicate, and they sadly do know how to party, Neil.
Oh, maybe I should come up if she wins.
You should.
Yeah.
Get in the car, get up to Ellerslie. It's be a great night, both on and off the track, and 6 quality races. And it doesn't look easy for mine. I think it's a tough day, and you might have to look a bit wider in some of those races. And there's a punters club. Did you know? At Ellerslie.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah.
By the boys get paid. It's a Facebook page, and I've got about $55,000
Amazing.
in the pool. So there'll be some big bets going on, I'd say.
It'll be interesting. So if people want to follow that, I presume they'll be posting the bets on their Facebook page?
Absolutely. Yep.
Right. Yep.
Yep, they've already set up a little thread already. So yeah, it'd be a good way to watch it unfold. It could be some big bets, big killings, or big disappointments, as we all know.
Yeah.
You never know in this punting game.
No, that's right. Yeah. No, it'd be great to finish on a winning note too, wouldn't it? Okay, back with part 4. We'll bypass part 3. Back with part 4 tomorrow. Okay, listeners, on to the final part, our brickbats, multi-questions, and a couple of other things as well. Money Shop, you got any brickbats or bouquets you can share with the listeners?
I've got a bouquet to start with, Neil, and that's had the pleasure of spending a bit of time with New Zealand First MP Clayton Mitchell.
Oh, good.
Who is, I guess, Winston's right-hand man when it comes to the racing portfolio.
Yeah.
Knows a fair bit about racing. There will be an announcement this weekend from New Zealand First that should go down well with the participants in the industry. And I was pleasantly surprised as to his knowledge and interest and insight to the industry, and I think we'll see some positive changes, and I reiterate the word change, going forward. So I guess watch the space, but good to see someone take a more than just a passing interest in our great industry. So hopefully we'll see some good steps going forward. My brickbat is the pattern of the staying races here in New Zealand over the summer. We saw a very average Wellington Cup field. I don't think there's any doubt that that was probably the weakest field in a long time. Just seems crazy. I think we had the Avondale Cup on the 1st of January, you had the Martin Cup, you had the Karaka Cup, you've got the Wellington Cup, then you've got the City of Auckland Cup. You've got all these staying races all in January, and it's just too congested, and there's no clear path. I mean, no horse that, well, I know Magic Chai is going to try and do the both, but every horse that was really set for the Auckland Cup, I think, missed the Wellington Cup, because you can't pick a horse at 2 miles and then expect it to run 2 miles another 6 weeks later, sort of thing. So just think we need to get that the staying races back into a better order, and I know the Pattern Review Committee are looking at that, so fingers crossed we see some changes there too.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear, and I agree 100%. It's got to be sorted out. And just going back to Winston, a couple of things I was hoping for was tax relief. But anything that out, you know, it's going to be positive news anyway. So, yeah, tax relief and maybe funding, or really good funding from the government towards a really good racing complex in the Waikato area that would cater for at least 2 codes, hopefully 3, and maybe chuck in some money to Ellerslie and put a Strath Air track down there. Just it's a waste of time band-aiding it, I reckon. But something you may have seen on the TAB website too, my brickbat is on the TAB website. They've been putting up the best times, like if a horse wins over 1,200 metres and say 1:11, they'll put its winning time up, and alongside there, or back in the form lines, they'll put the fastest time that day over 1,200 metres, which is good information, but it just seems to be that they aren't actually doing that. It just seems to be the same as the race time at one. One will have the last 600 metres, then information is there. That's far more valuable information that can be used by punters, especially in the summer months and the dry track months. Just seems, I don't know why they wouldn't do that, but anyway, they'd probably have their reasons.
It doesn't seem right. So what? Let me just look at this here. Just talking on the go here. So, in theory, it's like the greyhounds where you might win your race in a certain time, but the fastest on the day was quite a bit faster. So you go, well, take that with a grain of salt. Clearly, that's what they're trying to do with the gallops. But you take a horse called Swissylicious that's running at Pukekohe tomorrow. Yeah. If you want to follow this through.
I will.
Swissylicious, let's just get back to this. I think it's one of the early races at Pukie. On Friday. We're doing this on Thursday night. Race 3, number 5. You click on him.
Yep.
And his last start at Tauranga on Friday, the race he ran in Precision Miss ran 1:11.16.
Yep.
The best time on the day supposedly is 1:11.16.
It wasn't though, was it?
No. The first race went 1:10 something, so it's already makes no sense.
No, they haven't got it set up properly.
So if you go, the first race won by McCullum last Friday at Tauranga.
Yep.
Was run in 1:10.46.
That's right, yeah, I remember. So it's not correct, that's just misleading.
Yeah.
So they'd be better off educating punters about speed ratings, which they do in America, and have a figure up to, say, 100. And if they had an SR of 100, that was the best time you could do it at a track. And
work down from there.
Work down from there. A lot of punters can do speed ratings if you do them properly and accurately with an education. And knowing 100 is the highest, it will be a much better indicator for punters. But at least they're trying to put more information up there, but it's incorrect information.
Yeah, but if it's wrong information, that's just one example of I just pulled out knowing that that horse didn't run the fastest 1200 on the day, and yet you read that and you think, oh yeah, Swissilicious was in the fastest 1200 of the day.
It's misleading. Oh, good.
Disappointing.
Yep.
Actually, let's have a look just to really emphasise the point. The other horse that was in a 1200 metre race on that day was Thomas Aquinas, who was in the big 2-year-old race on Saturday. So we go to his
27th
form, race 6, number 7, and now suddenly 112 is the best time over 1200 at Tauranga. So they clearly haven't got their system set up properly.
Yeah, it's interesting because they must. I know with our ratings system, we use the same calculations and setup for each code, gallops and dogs. So it seems strange they are getting that wrong because they're just using the same setup as the dogs you would presume, but they haven't. So yeah, I'll ring the TRB tomorrow and.
Wouldn't it be beneficial? Just you look at because we clicked on Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran in an 800 metre trial at Cambridge and the winner ran 46.89.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to know what was the fastest 800 metre trial on that day without having to go to the NZTR website? You could, if they've got that field there now, why not do it for trials as well? You'd almost argue it'd be even better because there's usually far more trials over a set distance than races on a race day. So if you run the fastest trial out of 6 or 7 heats, you think, okay. Yeah. Just a thought.
Yeah. No, excellent thought too, because they're dead right, but you can get 10, 11 heats, can't you, over certain distances.
Over a certain distance, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sure the powers that be will be onto it, Neil. They listen intently to our podcast.
I'll give them a call tomorrow and just make them aware of it and see what happens. Right, last week the multi question, 2 out of 3 for Michelle. She got the 2 gallops ones up and missed out on the cricket, which is a shame. But
did she take the cricket?
Yeah, she had what she had? She had Eagle Bay into the Aussie Sprinter into the cricket. So anyway,
Nature Strip.
That's right. Okay, so this week.
Sorry, Michelle. Sorry, we'll shout you a beer next time we see you. We'll give an easy question this week, and how about we do it first time winners only? So if you've won one of our multi-comps before, you can't enter. So hopefully it'll be we'll get some entries from people who haven't yet won or haven't yet bothered to enter. But I think you all should enter if you haven't won, because this question isn't the hardest one in the world. To be the winner of this week's multi-comp on Heads Up, you need to text Neil or email Neil the answer to this very simple question: who rode Melody Bell to win the Karaka Million last year? Who rode Melody Bell? If you're struggling, maybe have a look at who's riding her on Saturday, and that might be a little clue.
Yeah. Okay, no, good question. And if you know the answer and you haven't won before, just let me know by 9 p.m. Friday night on, what's my number, 027 352 6402 or formpro at formpro.co.nz before 9 p.m. And my wife will draw out somebody, hopefully it's you, and you'll get that multi-bet on Saturday. And hopefully you win. It's been a while since we've had a winner too, so we came close last week. Right, nothing else. At least we've got fine weather forecast, haven't we, for Saturday, so it's going to be a decent track. And,
the heat could, well, luckily they're racing later in the day, but
that's right. Yeah.
I must admit, you look at Australia, they see the forecast, they see that there's going to be a problem, and they bring meetings forward either by hours or days. They make decisions, they're proactive. New Zealand, we see Woodville, a bit of drizzle on the day,
Yeah.
Make your decisions earlier, so it saves everyone money and frustration. But yeah, I think we could learn a bit from that by actually being proactive and making decisions around race days when conditions aren't conducive for whatever reason, and making that decision nice and early rather than waiting till the last minute.
Oh, I was actually surprised they didn't postpone, because in their review of all the abandonments, when everyone met the week before, that was one of their markers, was to be more proactive in postponing meetings when possible. So it just seemed a no-brainer that if there was showers forecast on a non-irrigated track, that you'd postpone to a day later in the week when it was forecast to be fine and no rain. But anyway, we live and learn.
Yeah, you sometimes wonder whatever gets said, whether
that's right.
it gets adhered to. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Frustrating. So in the end, they got away with it today and had a successful day's racing. But I don't think 4 tracks is the answer, Neil, like Mr. Sharrock suggests. I think we need a few more than 4, but we probably don't need 52 either.
Oh, exactly. But I think maybe the angle you've got to take is, if you're going to start racing off in New Zealand in 6 months' time, how would you set up the business in our country? You wouldn't have 52 tracks, obviously. Anyway, there's a lot of interest out there in racing, trainers, owners, clubs, etc. So someone's got to decide, get the information, decide, and just do it. Hopefully Winston's going to do that for us on Sunday night. Rightio, nothing else you want to mention before we sign off?
No. Just good luck to everyone who has a horse in the big races. I know there's a few subscribers and a few good friends got horses running in the big races, so good luck to everyone. And it should be a fantastic night, and good luck to all the vendors at the sales next week. Hopefully you get a good return on your hard-earned work and investment that you've put into these horses in the last 12 months plus. So it should be an interesting old sale. Yeah, good luck to You're not going to put your hand up on one, Neil? No, shivers, no. The wife had bloody cut it off. Now, good luck to Don. That's right. I hope the hand would be all right. Anyway, good luck to Don. He's got a share in Contessa Vanessa, and I hope she goes better than your golfers anyway. And what else? Oh, good luck to I hope the boys get paid out big time on Sunday. So looking forward to following that and having a lot of fun. So good stuff, and everyone have a great weekend, and keep those fans running.